Hey there. Welcome back to the Golfweek Amateur Tour, the podcast. Chris, should we tell people how to join the tour?
Of course. Whether you're a seasoned member or just tuning in to learn more, we're here to help you dive into the ins and outs of the tour. If you've been on the fence about joining, there's no better time than now. It's a fantastic way to play competitive golf, meet other passionate golfers, and step up your game.
Registration is open. All you need to do is go to amateurgolftour.net, click Join the Tour button, and pay your local tour's membership dues.
And if you want to keep up with all things Golfweek Amateur Tour, make sure you're subscribed and listening to the podcast on your favorite platform. Don't forget to download each episode, share it with your golf buddies, and if you're enjoying the show, drop us a like and a review. Your feedback helps us grow the community and reach more golfers just like you. Thanks for tuning in. Now let's get into today's episode. Tim, welcome back. Another episode, another week. And we're already dying.
Oh, God. I don't know what's wrong with people, man. Me in particular.
It's both of us.
Yeah. It's another week, another podcast, and obviously the best podcast in the history of Golfweek Amateur Tour. We got some good guests this week.
Yeah, we have two big winners.
Yeah.
One tournament-wise, one tour-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Jokes between you and me, and a good time.
Yeah, and now's I don't want to get into it now, but maybe we'll talk about it later in the episode. But now's probably a time when we need to lighten the mood up a little bit. A lot of serious things going on tour, and sometimes laughing and having a good time is going to help get us through some of these things. But as we get through it, Chris, is June.
Oh,
June 2nd.
Already.
That. You've got until, so today's Monday, whatever day June 5th is.
Thursday,
yeah. So Thursday to get your May Players of the Month in. So please make sure you do that. I'd like to see as many or more nominations for May as we did for April. That was really nice to see.
Yeah, it was. And I mean, it's can't be just one person in your tour that's really shown the light,
right?
Of being a Golf Weekend member. So definitely submit yours. I mean, it's tough competition out there. It really
Absolutely.
is.
Well, let's get into doing this thing, man.
Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Golfweek Amateur Tour proudly presents Golfweek Amateur Tour, the podcast, talking about all things Golfweek Amateur Tour, including interviews with tour directors, players, and course professionals. Now here are your hosts, Tim Newman and El Paso Las Cruces Tour Director, Chris Rocha.
All right, Chris, welcome back. Again, we got a great episode this week.
Better than the last episode.
Of course it is. I mean, I'm surprised you didn't know that.
We get better every time.
Now, I don't know if we're going to have time to talk about this, but there were some club throwing instances at PGA Championship. I don't know if we have time to talk about it, but
I understand it. I've done it.
Don't ever say that on live air, man.
I have. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I'm the sensei of the tomahawk throw.
See, I'm a saint. I would never do anything to disrespect anybody at any time. I would never.
Oh, I'm not disrespecting anybody. I'm disrespecting myself.
But I don't know if you saw the hole in that one sign from Wyndham Clark's club.
I did not see the hole. No.
Oh man, it's bad. I mean, it's bad. I kind of chuckle a little bit, but it is what it is.
They had a tough time apparently.
Yeah. Actually, the article I was reading, talks about it with the amount of money that's now going into it. The stakes are a little bit higher, and I think that's kind of pushing. I get it,
Right.
So we should.
I could see that.
So we should start upping the skins entries to
Ooh.
like $100 and see what happens.
See how it plays out.
Yeah. I wouldn't suggest that. Anyway. Well, let's go ahead and get this thing really started. We pushed the April Member of the Month winner off because it was Military Appreciation Month, and I'm glad we got to talk to the military members. But let's go ahead and bring in our April Member of the Month and the Tour Director. The April Member of the Month is Mike Cobb, and Tour Director is Tim Sumption from Charleston. Welcome, guys.
Hey,
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Mike, first off, congratulations for being the Tour's Member of the Month, and thank you for spending some time with us tonight.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Tim, thank you for nominating Mike. And basically, before we really get started, let me just read the nomination that you submitted. And just so everybody knows, we've talked about this the other times, but just to reiterate, we send these off to Dennis, and Dennis chooses. It's not Chris and I that choose. It's Dennis. And Chris and I did talk about him, and there were some really good nominations this time. But Mike's yours really did stand out. Really did stand out. Yeah.
That too.
So I'm going to go ahead and try and read this. I am a product of public education, so we'll see what happens. But Tim, this is what you wrote. Charleston is proud to nominate Mike Cobb for this distinguished honor. Mike has been a major reason in the growth of the Charleston Tour. I can honestly tell you he has recruited over 20 players to the Tour. He has been a major local player in the Charleston area for decades, competing in all the big golf events here. He has used his unique persuasive skills and influence to help grow the Charleston Tour. Not only does Mike play here and recruit, he has traveled to numerous other tours and competed, including Hilton Head, Charlotte, Columbia, and a few others over the years. His play in the regionals on both the regular and senior tour is exemplary. He just loves to compete and is perplexed by those who don't. Mike, so am I. Mike early on would often hang around to watch and see how the other players were playing, congratulate them or chide them if their play was not so spectacular. I knew I liked you. I chide Chris all the time. He interacts with all the players. He would often help us pack up and load out in the early parts. I decided it would be a good idea to make him an assistant. To this day, his recruitment of players, especially in the championship flight, is evident. He will stay on these guys and help grow the hardest division to grow. Thanks, Tim. Tim, that's a great nomination. Those are the types of things that we're looking for, so thank you for doing that. You wrote that, but what else do you have to say on top of that nomination?
Well,
Made me wanna
everything
cry.
in there I said is basically true. I mean, he really embraced the tour when he first came out, and ever since he got there, my membership has grown, but the champ flight's also grown, and because of the tournaments he played and the friendships that he made, playing against these guys and all these big tournaments and everything. But lately, I think I found out the real reason was he just wants more money in the pot. That's why he gets up and down.
Nothing wrong with that.
And he'll stay on them.
Carefully choose who I get to play to do that.
If they're not signed up, they're gonna get a couple texts and maybe an email from Mike. Hey, Wedgefield is
Lots of
calling
phone-
your name.
Oh, there's TA right there.
Yeah.
Hey, whatever you got to do to build the pot. It's
Exactly.
that's why Chris went to the A flight.
Yeah, that's the reason why. Yeah.
I tried that once. It didn't work out. Going to the A flight, Dennis didn't allow it.
Well, I can see why. Looking at your scores,
Right.
But
He-
my
he did-
scores
He did.
But my
shoot
scores that
67
year-
2 days ago at
The
Lake
senior.
Marion.
But my scores that year had led me to the A flight. I mean, it was that they were high enough. Let's just put it that way. My handicap had dropped to like a 5 or 4.5 or something, and I said, Tim, put me in the A flight. I'm tired of donating money. And he sent it to Dennis, and Dennis said, no way. He shot 62 at Myler last week. I heard it in Myrtle Beach. And I was like, I've been playing there since I was 8 years old, so that shouldn't count. So
Yeah, there's some that Dennis would, even if you got the documentation, he'll just say no, it's not happening.
yeah, he did.
Um,
He nipped that
and-
right in the bud.
well, but it seems to have worked out for you. I mean,
Yeah,
Chris,
it's good. It's fun.
he's a minus 0.7.
You know, I'm looking at it. I'm highly impressed. 34 birdies this year, 4 eagles. He's got
This
a
year?
whole.
I've had 4
This
straight
year?
rounds with an eagle right now. Competitive rounds, yeah.
Damn,
He's had a whole atrium so far.
good God. So
Mike,
besides
but-
taking, go ahead, Chris.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, but you know, with the nomination, you know, he mentions how you stay and watch all the other flights. And being a champ flighter, I can imagine, you know, those can be long days. But what makes you decide to stay and see how the other flights finish out?
Well, I mean, Tim, first of all, Tim's such a good director, and he's so good to me in the way he treats me, and anything I can do to help him out is my top priority. I always got to get it okay with my wife because I'm being gone all day. You know, I leave at 9 to go to Wild
Smart man.
Dunes. I get home at 9. You know, but I have friends in the D flight. I have friends in the C flight. I have friends in all the flights. So I really want to see how they all play. You know,
Nice.
and so
And see, I thought you were going to say because you needed to pick up your super skin money.
he just sent me that. He keeps a tab on it or Venmo on it. Sometimes he's even like we're splitting, right?
Sometimes.
So he probably takes a little bit of a cut,
Hey, Steve.
little off the top. You know,
I'm doing a podcast with Tim
the
and
handling
Chris.
fee.
All right.
He never answers the phone when I call.
See, what's up with that, man? Mike, that's kind of like, you know, when we're at
Yeah,
at a
all right.
regional or nationals, and
I know.
I tell Dennis, I said, you know,
All right. See.
I'm live, and as soon as I say that, he picks up the microphone and starts talking on the loudspeaker. Right after I said, Dennis, don't do anything. I'm live right
I'm
now.
live.
And he just starts talking. Like,
Yep.
come on, dude.
He's
I
working.
understand.
He's working. Remember? I'm
I'm
working.
I'm
here.
working. That's funny. That's funny.
Sorry, that I had to take that phone call. It was Steve Kubik.
Was it Kubik? Yep.
Yeah, and I had to feel bad because he didn't have access to his phone today. You know, I didn't have access to his phone.
He was playing?
He was
Augusta?
playing Augusta National.
Oh, sorry.
man.
So he was calling to tell you, oh, Tim, by the way, I didn't have access to my phone today because I was playing Augusta National. Just wanted to let you know.
We're actually running a senior tournament at Paris Island on Friday, so
Okay.
we got to talk about that.
Well, you know, I'm glad you brought that up. You know, we had Steve on a few weeks ago, and he raves about Paris Island, and you know that's
That's amazing.
a course and tournament that people, if they're in the area, really shouldn't miss. Is that the case? Is Steve telling truth there?
It's the best military golf course on the East Coast.
Wow.
There's a couple on
Play
the
the
West
ball
Coast that'll
down.
give it a run, but
You can play the
Wow.
ball down with no problem. I mean, I played it last year for the first time, and I won't miss it again.
Okay. Well, Mike, what's your favorite course that we play on tour?
That we play, that
Mhm.
I've played is
Salisbury.
I like Salisbury, North Carolina, because I'm from there.
Okay.
But I really liked Oldfield.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I won that a few weeks ago, and next to Secession that I played, that's pretty nice.
Okay. So Salisbury, North Carolina. So I'm drinking the cheer wine.
There you is, Cheerwine, home of it. Food
There we
line,
go.
Cheerwine.
Love it. I started drinking that when I was stationed at Fort Bragg, and this was a long time ago, but close to 30 years I've been drinking this stuff. And then now I lost my whole train of thought. Just
Yep.
Salisbury and cheer
Oh,
wine.
It's
good.
gone. I saw it leaving.
It doesn't take much.
It's just lost
when
in
you
there
realize
somewhere.
something was 30 years ago.
You guys understand? Chris just turned 30, so
40. Settle down.
Young and
Just young pups, both of them.
young. Yeah, I can say that now.
All right, so Tim, give us your best story, golf related story about Mike.
Oh, there's a few. I mean, golf related. You know, I've had the pleasure to play with Mike quite a few rounds, so to see some really, really good golf, and not understand how someone can only swing at 70% and still hit the ball, 75 yards past me off the tee it's unbelievable. But one of the things you have to beware if you're playing with Mike, he's nothing but a big kid. He's nothing but a big kid, and you just have to be prepared because you might go to step into your golf cart and there might be this little snake pulling out from underneath the golf cart looking right at you.
Okay.
He's not pulling out. He's just laying
Mike
there.
filming you. He's gotten numerous players on tour with that one. They all know it's coming.
Good to know.
And he gets them all.
They're all on video,
Yeah, you know it's coming. You just don't know when it's coming.
but it's not
Yeah.
PG.
Good God.
We will have to show you some of those videos.
I mean, when they're having a bad day, you got to make them smile somehow.
You do.
Like it keeps
Makes
them coming
sense.
back.
That's awesome. And Mike, give us something on Tim, because Tim plays things close to the vest. And at least around us at Nationals, he plays things real close to the vest. I need some dirt to start spreading on him.
Some
Hold
dirt.
on, my wife just walked in.
What? I'd say one of our funniest moments playing together is he had me take what's your boy's name, Tim? Remember, guess.
Oh,
Who's
Bill.
your normal partner?
Bill.
Yeah, he had me take Bill. Yeah, he had me take Bill's place, and I joined him. Obviously Tim gets some shots. I don't get any shots, and we get about 13 holes in, and Tim makes his first par with a shot on his shot hole. He bogeyed every shot hole until that point. So I just kind of walked up. His member guest now. I just kind of walked up, introduced myself, and welcomed him to the 2024 member guest. Yeah, it's just
Tim, come on,
you
bud.
found that humorous.
Yeah, I guess so.
What else
Hey.
can you do?
Hey, my home course is a tough course. It's a tough course.
What is your home course?
Crowfield. Here in Goose Creek.
Okay.
It's tough.
Oh,
A lot
wow.
of people don't like it. They don't like to play it.
It's tough around the greens. Every green drops off. They got, your couple tiers on each green.
Okay.
It is tough.
Well, Tim, you got to find an easier course to that way people
To
don't,
do a
people don't
move.
give you shit.
I did
Now
live
you
in
Try
an
to get him
easier
to come out
course.
to mine because it's a little easier.
Hell, you shoot 62 out there. It must be easy.
Oh,
Wow.
you asked for it, Tim.
I did. I like it though. Yeah, I like the back and forth.
Hey,
But-
he shoots 82 on it, so it can't be too easy.
Phew. That's a,
We love to hate
Oh,
each
God.
other.
How does the
God,
mute
that's
button
awesome.
work?
How does the what?
How's the mute button work?
Oh, I'm the only one with that.
Oh, okay.
See?
Smart move.
Yeah, see. Look, good God. So, Michael, what's your lowest round on tour? I think I saw 67 recently at
That's-
Santee.
That's
That
well,
was
yeah.
in-
That was the senior tour this past week. I shot 68 at Crowfield. The course he was talking about that was so difficult. I did shoot
Okay.
68 a couple years ago in the finale. I've shot 68 at Rivertown. That might have been last year or a year before also. That's probably it, 67, 68.
I mean,
But it's Typically it'll stay below 74, 75. I like to try to keep it below that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
For 9.
Yeah, temperature in my house.
So Tim mentioned that you can fly the ball 75 yards past him with a 70% swing, and that's Chris, when we talk to the good champ players, right? We talk to champ players. There's champ players and there's the good champ players, and that seems to be the theme with all of them, where people like you and me, we're gripping the club so tight and swinging so hard, and the ball doesn't go anywhere. So Mike, what's the secret there?
I'd have to visually, I guess, see it, but I don't know. I mean, a shortened swing to me guarantees you're going to hit it in the center of the face. Not guarantees it, but it's going to help you hit it in the center of the face. I'm real handsy. I got a good lag, and I think it's all right there at the bottom of the swing for me. Like Tim said, I get done hitting, and everybody's like, you look like you're not even swinging at it. And I think it's just all right there in the wrist.
Good God. See it. Chris, you better follow. Watch him play.
I'm going to have to.
Chris moved from the B flight to the A flight this year, and have you been in the 80s yet?
We're not going to talk about that. We're here to talk about Mike.
Dude, I'm trying to help you.
We're here to celebrate him, sir. Not talk about my struggles.
Hey, we all go through it.
So
I see a 67 on there. I think that's his lowest on the regular tour.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at, and that was last year at Santee.
Yeah.
But even still, 67. I'll take a 67 anytime. Like I said, on the front nine anyway. But to have a minus 0.7, and this is what's funny, Chris. His senior handicap is 0.7. His golf week is minus 0.7. I don't know how he does that, but
because the courses get easier as I move back, because I can't worry about hitting through the fairway. It kind of opens it up a little bit.
So you got to start working on.
I got to think more from the senior tees.
Oh, that's a problem.
There's not a lot up here.
No, I understand.
You can figure that out just by looking at him, Tim.
Plus, I mean, a lot of times I do have to tough it out and play with Tim in the seniors, so that's
and it's hard.
That's true. That's true.
Oh my goodness gracious! See, I'm losing my God. So my guess is you like playing the golf week side better because of the distance. So,
well, I enjoy both of them, but we have better turnouts, and I'm getting more people to turn out for like he said, for the regular tour. I think this year, for the first time, I think almost every tournament we've had almost double digits for the champ
awesome.
flight, and
that's awesome.
That's a lot for us, and And
yeah,
even for the other flights that I get people in, even the other flights I try to get people in, when I first start talking to them about it, they're like, I ain't ready for all that. I haven't played no tournaments. I'm like, well, there's a guy that shoots 110 out there, just like,
yeah,
I mean, it's just fun getting to play different courses. I say, you're not going to get better playing Berkeley Country Club every day.
Right.
The same course, it's wide open. You need to go play these different courses. And I think once one of them does it, like say my nephew gets 3 people, and it just spirals.
Yeah, and that's the key. Once they come out once, they're hooked.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to get them out one time, and
exactly.
And they're hooked.
I just got him to join this year. Next thing,
if Mike's playing, it don't matter if they're champ flighters or A flighters or B flighters. He's texting them to get in. I'm like, man, I appreciate that, man. He's like, man, we got to bump up that super skim money.
You do. Seriously,
he does a good job staying on them, getting them to come out. All seriousness aside, he does.
Well, looking at both schedules here,
yeah.
on both schedules, what's left of the courses that are don't misses? That if somebody's passing through or needs to make up a tournament across the country, which tournaments are don't miss?
Well, on the regular tour, you got Charleston National. We got Paris Island. Definitely don't miss. We got a real gem that not too many people know about. Waibu Golf Club. And Mike can attest to this.
Okay.
It's always in great shape. It doesn't get a lot of play. It's like you're at a country club playing that course. The greens are always great. It's a hidden gem. It's up in Manning, South Carolina. And that's definitely a not miss. We get to go off early. It's hotter that time of year.
The whatever customer you are calling is not
definitely
available.
Not miss. But
Please try
I guess the
again
biggest
later.
not miss of the year is Crowfield. To end the year.
Wow. Okay, yeah.
Because my wife cooks for everyone.
That's another, and that's a big miss because you don't want to miss that because his wife cooks.
Okay, can I come up even if I don't play? I don't have
Yeah,
anything to-
absolutely.
All right.
I'll invite you.
Sweet. Chris, come in early. But Tim, let me ask you about Waibu because I've heard of that place. Why does it not get a lot of play?
Because it's location. It's in Manning, South Carolina, and their population is probably not very, very big. So, it's a little drive to get there. I mean, you're driving around. There's two courses right there, but the Waibu one is the state of the art one. As a matter of fact, we even had I think it was like 2 years ago. We had Sterling Sharp come out and play.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
How about that? That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Now, how about on the senior side?
I'm in here.
Senior side, well, obviously Paris Island, but we also got Orangeburg Country Club on the schedule. And again, Waibu. And then I think we finish up the year at Legend Oaks like we did last year.
Okay.
Those are really good courses.
Yeah, I tell people don't miss Orangeburg. Now, I've never been out there, never played it, but I've heard nothing but good stuff. And since you've been on it, what's it, 5 or 6 years, maybe a little bit longer? It's every player that I've had that's gone there said it's a don't miss Orangeburg.
Yeah, and that's
probably
mostly the greens
one of my favorite.
there. I mean, the course is always in great shape, but the greens there are just phenomenal.
But you play the foot out to the left, it breaks 2 feet left.
Wow.
They're hard to read. They're hard to read.
Chris, you should go.
But it's fun. It's fair off the tee. I mean, it's not like that's not what makes it what it is.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. Guys, thank you so much for taking some time with us tonight. I really do appreciate it. Mike, congratulations. And, I don't know what regionals you're going to if the rest of the year, but I hope to see you at some of them. I know I'll be at Fripp. I think I'm going down to the ones in Florida coming up. I don't know what else, but
I'm not sure if I'm going to Fripp or not, but I might try to make something in Florida.
Okay. Yeah, I've got to go. I definitely need to get to the Cabot Farms one. I've heard good things about that, and my brother lives just outside of PGA Village, so I think I'm gonna do a 2-for-1 there. See my brother and go to the tournament. So anyway,
we do have True Blue Caledonia 2 days
on the senior side.
On the senior side.
Oh, when is that?
July 28th.
Oh, no,
somewhere around there.
So I do need to get to more senior regionals, but I'm probably going to be at the Virginia Tech Regional on the Golfweek side, the 18th and 19th.
I'll be in Hawaii, so I won't be able to go to any of those.
I'm going to be in Hawaii. I can't go. Why are you complaining about going to Paulie's and playing golf?
To where?
Paulie's. It's just outside of Myrtle Beach, man. Go back to sleep. You just because you're going to Hawaii. Huh? Well, guys, this is what I'm working with all the time.
Yeah, I feel you.
I know.
It's sitting right there in the bottom right of the screen.
Well, guys, again, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Thanks you
All right. Thank you,
for
Tim.
what you
Thank
do
you,
for the
Chris.
tour. You guys are awesome.
Yep. Thank you.
All
Thanks
right.
for having me.
Let's take a break from the show to hear about Strixon's ZX Mark II irons.
A great iron set needs more than good looks. It's got to be fast and got to be pure. But good looks never hurt either. The all-new ZX Mark II irons from Strixon.
We're not doing this 15 times. Oh, Chris, I know it's a little delayed to have the April Member of the Month on in June, but with us doing the Military Appreciation Month, Mike again was gracious enough to be pushed back only by a couple of days, but I enjoyed the conversation with he and Tim. I'm quite sure that if we weren't being broadcast, we would have gotten some much more deeper stories. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, we have that conversation all the time. We have guests. I mean, that's the thing about golf is you have some PG stories and then you have some rated R plus stories. So,
And they look like they were much
ready to
more
go.
rated R. Much
Oh, yeah.
more rated R.
I mean, just like the James brothers.
Yeah, absolutely.
But once you get to hear those stories off air, they're pretty funny.
Exactly. It's again, when you talk to somebody like Mike, just down to earth, easygoing guy that's shooting in the high 60s, low 70s every round, very consistent. But one of the things that really impressed me about him was, as a champ plate player, sticking around the whole tournament, encouraging everybody and being there and until the last group comes in, and that really shows a lot, to the rest of the tour and what's really important about what we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, because there could be stereotypes, champ flight guys don't care or the D flight guys are terrible, and the fact that he's able to stay there and cheer on people that he knows means that he's gaining everybody on tour.
Exactly.
And as directors, it's easy for us because we have to be there.
Right.
But to have these guys stay, as long as they can is pretty cool.
Absolutely. So we're gonna go. We had a couple of regionals this past weekend. Got a couple more coming up, but from my perspective, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I think that the regionals are going pretty well right now.
Yeah.
And there was a feisty one out there in California. I was watching leaderboards this past weekend, and it was pretty interesting for all the flights, honestly.
Well, you got Dan Hubbard who won the A flight out of Louisiana North. He and Trey do their podcast out of men's bathrooms.
The bathrooms out there. But we won't talk about that. But I mean, if you look at it, champ flight playoff, A flight playoff,
right.
B flight almost gave it away.
Yeah.
C flight almost gave it away, and then D flight almost a playoff. But it was pretty cool to see out there.
Yeah, and playing on those courses out there. I don't know. Have you ever been out there?
I have not. I need to make a chance to go out there.
Yeah, you do. So it's been years since I've been out there. Like when I say years, like 08, 09. It's like it's been a while, but I've been out there. Number one, it's beautiful. Number two, the courses are phenomenal, and to be able to play on those courses in a tournament like this, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is a big deal. I mean, that might as well cut to the chase. But our next guest on this episode is one of the 5 winners out there. One thing that I was looking at was because Arizona was out there and a couple of my guys were out there, and 4 out of the 5 flights Arizona took. I mean, pretty lucky when you're pretty close, but that's just rivalry talk right there. But I did notice, the D flight player who's our next guest, might be one of the youngest regional winners or oldest regional winners. We'll get to that
Yeah, we'll get
question
to the bottom of
later.
that here
Yeah.
before the night's
Um,
over. That's for sure.
but a good rivalry friend of mine, his son took D flight. So let's welcome in Brandon Filantres.
Thank
Brandon,
you
how
guys.
you doing?
Thanks for having me. I'm doing good.
Brandon,
How are you guys?
doing awesome. It's good to see you. I would advise you though to not sit out in the middle of the road. You know,
No, I just had to show off a nice picture I got from down there in California at nighttime. So
it's beautiful out there, isn't it?
it's very beautiful. We stayed off of one of the private courses over in La Quinta, and it
Yeah.
was beautiful views all day.
What would you think of the courses?
The courses, I first time playing for both of them, but it was great. I mean, they were great conditions. The fairways were running, and the greens, like, you had to hit it a mile in the air to get it to stick.
Wow.
So it was some very tough conditions.
Wow. I mean, you seem to do okay. I mean, you won. So
Yeah. Oh, it was a close one. I mean, I think it was one shot I had him by.
yeah. Well, let's start. Let's start with the first round though, because I think you were leading by 9 strokes after day
Yeah,
one.
I think it was 8 after day one.
Eight after day one. So that's you shot a pretty good score. Tell us about that round.
That round it was pretty good. I kept my misses minimal, and when I was missing them, they were staying pretty straight. It was just chunks or stuff that's manageable, not really any hooks. And my putting wasn't that great. I had quite a few burn the edge, but other than that, my game was just mistakes that were easy to fix. So as the
Right.
round went on, I just was doing what was necessary to keep the scores low.
Yeah, with an 87, especially again on those courses, an 87. That's a really good score, and I guess that's the score that got you bumped to the C flight, huh?
It was indeed the score that got me bumped to C flight. Yes.
You look happy about that. Happy and nervous.
Yeah. Well, I'm going out here. The Chicago Tour is having their first major, and I'm flying out to see family, so I'm catching that tournament. So it's definitely gonna be a different environment to play my first C tournament in, but I'm excited for it.
Where are they playing that at?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure the exact location. I know it's can't remember off the top of my head, but I know I'm going out there with my uncle. So
Well,
Tim's-
I'll get our crack research staff to find that.
Yeah,
I know
he's doing that right now.
All right,
Well, I
so
mean-
you go ahead, Chris.
No, I was just gonna say. So then you get to the harder course, I would assume. Barely break triple digits, which is you almost match the temperature out there. But we're able to hold off Rosemary, and she's a solid player. Like she'll creep up on you and get you. So were you watching the leaderboard close to the end, or did you just feel that she was coming close?
So what happened was I knew obviously going in that all 3 of the people I was partnered with, I had an 8-shot lead on. And so usually in tournaments, I don't really check the leaderboard until the very end because I get in my own head if I'm checking the leaderboard. So at the turn, I wasn't counting anything up. Rosemary, I was riding with Rosemary that day. And so I was hearing her and one of the other guys we were playing with count up the scores, make sure everything was right. And just in the back of my head, I knew how many strokes I had. So it kind of started a snowball of me getting worse and worse as the day went on because I knew, like, after every hole what the gap was shortening to.
Right.
And I think at the end there, going into 18, Rosemary had a 1-shot lead on me. She had actually closed the gap and gained a stroke. And I just tried to stay as calm as possible because I think I doubled 16 and then tripled 17
Ooh.
to really close that gap a lot. But yeah, I was just fortunate that Rosemary made mistakes in her own game, and I just kept mine limited as much as I could on that last hole.
Well, again, if you put yourself in that position, but knowing what you had to do to close out on 18, what she did is what she did, but for you to be able to do what you need to do to close it out on 18, that is also something that is really good for you, because now you know that you can do it. Even if you're not having a good round, if you've got one hole and this is what you have to do to win, that now that you can do it.
Yeah, my only goal going into that last one, because I knew Rosemary actually said after she didn't check the leaderboard at all, so she had no clue that she had me by one going into that last hole. But I knew I was down one, so my only goal was just to keep the ball in play. There was water on the left, so I just wanted to keep it in play and let her make her own mistakes.
Yep.
And luckily for me, that's what happened, and that's what helped me secure the win.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good match play right there. That's
Absolutely.
getting you for match play events, Ryder Cup events. Done when you throw a jab at your dad, but don't take it Ryder Cup advice from him.
I mean, I don't know that we'd take any advice from you either, because I'm pretty sure the belt's in our hands, Chris.
Man, that's you guys. I'm saying out of this
Vicious.
one,
Yep.
they are. Good God.
He had that one in his pocket, ready to go.
Well, Brandon, I'm looking at your scores, and you had you had a pretty good couple months, that you've been playing. So you shot an 83 at Falcon Dunes on May 4th. Is that your? That's obviously the best round you've had on tour, but is that your best round ever?
I don't think it's my best round ever, but definitely on tour. Definitely on tour, that's my best round, but I believe I've shot lower in outside the tour.
Okay, and then you shot in 84 in March at Saddlebrook. Again, really good scores, and then to shoot an 87 in a regional, first day of a regional, again, those scores, that's a pretty solid effort.
Yeah, I've definitely been putting a lot more time into my golf game than I had in the past, especially this past year. I think my last year's was best result. I think I tied first at Aguila in one of our tournaments out here, and then I tied third in the TPC Scottsdale regional last year.
Okay.
So that was my two big events, but I didn't end up securing any wins. So I spent a lot more time. I've been practicing a lot more. I think this past week I played a round of golf, including the tournaments, 6 out of the 7 days last week. So
Oh, wow.
Wow.
yeah, I've been working on my game a lot and just trying to get better.
Awesome.
This is your second
So-
year, right?
Yeah, second year.
What's your favorite course in Arizona to play? Because I'm just looking at some of these courses, and I know Gabe has you guys on really good ones, but obviously you got the TPC Scottsdale, you got Ak-Chin and Southern Dunes, which to me, I used to go out to Scottsdale all the time. That course out there for me is one of my absolute favorites at Southern Dunes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think my favorites to play have to be TPC Scottsdale, just because I mean it's like any other PGA course. Like you're playing with the pros you're playing. And that one I've come to like that one. I've played that one a couple times outside of the tour as well. And then Aguila. Aguila's another like surprisingly good one. They keep that course very well, and I liked playing that one last year.
Awesome. Now,
Are you going up to Sedona to play that Masters?
I'll be playing the next few majors. I'll be playing those.
Nice. So I'll see you out for those two. Tin Cup's always one of my favorites on your tour.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever played the Tin Cup. I think I missed out on it last year because of work, but this year I've definitely made the smart decision to request off months in advance so that I have an opportunity to play in these major tournaments.
why would you miss the Tupac tournament?
I just don't think I requested off early enough, so it's got to be like 3 months, otherwise they're not going to give it to you. So
Tim,
Guys.
he's too young to know who Tupac is. Settle down.
Yeah. I can't help it, man. I just gotta be me. Well, I don't know if he's too young or not. So Brennan, here's the debate that Chris and I are having. Okay. Now, I'm just gonna share something with everybody so that everybody knows that I'm not making this up. All right? So how old are you?
I'm 17.
Are you sure you're 17?
I'm pretty sure I'm 17. Yeah.
Okay. Who filled out your join the tour form? Can you see this?
Um.
You might have to zoom in.
Yeah, I can't see it well.
Let's see here.
Oh, that was not me. I'll tell you that. That was
So
not
y-
me filling that one out.
So you're either 17 or 117. And if you're
Oh,
100, if you're 117, I got to give you props too. So I mean, so either way, you're
I mean,
you-
I think either way, I'm breaking some records. So.
exactly. Um. So I don't know. Chris.
I don't know either.
This is what we're working with.
That's the Arizona tour. They bring in these
So
young
hold on.
old guys.
Hold on. Did your dad fill that out?
Most likely, yeah.
Okay. So now you can give him a bunch of shit because he doesn't even know when your birthday is. He has no idea how old you are, when your birthday is. None of that stuff.
You got the date right at least, so
Just not the year.
that's a positive, yeah.
Oh my God, that's funny. We see all kinds of stuff on these joining tour forms. It's amazing sometimes. Well,
Anyways,
all good things. So you're a senior in high school or junior?
Yes, I'm gonna be a senior next year.
You're gonna be a
Yeah.
senior. So are you guys already out of school for the summer?
Yep. Yeah, we actually our last day was the 22nd, so
Oh wow.
I
Okay.
got out of school and I went straight to California for the event.
That's a pretty good deal right
Nice.
there. That's a pretty
Yeah.
good deal. So you're gonna spend the summer working and playing golf.
Pretty much, yeah. That's what I've got planned so far.
Man, it's a
and
tough
possibly
life.
nationals if you can skip school.
If I can save up some money, I think my dad said he doesn't want to pay that much, so I'll be saving up to go, but hopefully that's the goal. I wanna go to nationals this year.
Well, tell him he could do that for your give you that for your 118th birthday.
It might be a little late or an early birthday present.
Yeah, we'll take it. Even still, I
Yeah.
mean, because you may not make it to be 118, so you take it.
You never know. I might drop dead any one of these days.
Oh man, this is more ammo for me. I appreciate it.
And this is all good things. All right, Brad. Here's last question for you, and we'll let you go. Of all the courses, of all the tournaments that are left on the Arizona schedule, if you had some friends that were coming out and they were going to play, which tournament would you tell them to come play?
I'd have to say either Sedona or the TPC regional. Because Sedona, I've never played in Sedona either, but I've been there. I've gone there when my dad's played it in the past years. And so it's just a really nice course there. And I mean, TBC is just one of those courses that, if you get the chance to play it, you got to play it.
Yeah. Yeah, when we would go out there, this was again a long time ago before my kids, went to college, we would go out to Arizona and we would play TPC course, and our friend who was he wasn't a pro at TPC, but he was a pro at another place, and we would always go there and play, and we would always play it as far back as you could go. So we would go to the farthest tee box, and play from there just because. And now obviously it's in the summertime and it wasn't in tournament conditions, but the pro that I was playing with never shot par or worse. He always shot under par, even from those
Jesus.
back tees. So Brandon, what you don't understand is my wife is like 4'2", Okay, and she's got junior clubs, and our
You're
pro.
being generous.
Okay, she's 4'1". She's 4'1". Our pro is like he was probably 5'11", and he would just grab a club out of her bag. She would use junior sets. He says, "I'm playing with her clubs for this hole," and he would make par. And on that course, but again, he's very familiar with it and plays it on a regular basis and other things. But TPC is a fun course, with all the history. So yeah, get out there and play it.
Last thing, Brandon, before we let you go, do you know that you have a better handicap than your dad now?
Well, I've had a better handicap than my dad for a little bit now, because he's been kind of at the 19-3 range, and I think going into the PGA West, I was at a 19-1, so I was better handicapped there. I shot better than him that
So
tournament.
you're all just switching, right? You're gonna go see he's going to D. Is that how it's going?
I don't. He's been playing a lot better, so his handicap will definitely go down here soon. But you know, I wouldn't want him to, because then I could actually, he's got all the excuses of, I'm playing closer tee boxes and all these other excuses, even though I'm beating him.
Brandon, we don't play that. No, no. Look, you're either 17 or 117, and if he can't beat you from a couple extra yards shorter, that's a problem. I mean, you just say, "Dad, come on, you're better than that."
I
know your dad. He's a good golfer. I know exactly.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah. One thing
he
that
had me
I do
down
have
5.
on him. One thing I have on him is I can hit the ball a lot further than he can now. So it's a gift and a curse at sometimes. So it just depends on the hole.
Yep.
That's one of the reasons I'm excited to go to C and move back a little bit, is because some of the holes just were a little too short. I would be getting myself in an uncomfortable spot with the clubs.
Well, part of getting better is better course management.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're on a hole that you shouldn't be hitting far, don't hit it far. Take a less club. And Chris, we talk about this with champ flight guys all the time. I mean, that's one of the things that they really harp on is being smart. Course management, picking your spot, knowing which club to hit. And we'll get into this a little bit later today on this episode. Joe Jaspers, everybody knows Joe. He just qualified for U.S. Senior Open, and Chris, that's his mantra: play smart, play smart, play smart.
Hardly his driver.
Yep,
it's crazy what these champ card guys do.
Yeah. So that's my wisdom for you, Brendan. Take it for what it's worth. The old fat guy, I haven't swung club in years, but it's whatever.
Yeah, that's what I was starting to do on Sunday when it was getting a little worse. I just went to my fairway finder club, and it helped me secure it.
That's it. All right, my friend Brendan, thanks so much for joining us. Congratulations on the big win, and hopefully
I got it here for you.
Oh, look at that! There we go. You got it.
Yeah.
By the way, I like those trophies.
Yeah, it's a nice trophy. I have to say, it's got a nice mix of red and blue. So it'll be a nice one to add the. Yeah, I gotta. I'll add it to the other two I've got. So.
No, put it in the living room so your dad sees it every day, and until he gets one, you have bragging rights.
Yeah.
All right, so who does better trophies, Gabe or Don with the regional?
I've only seen the one. Yeah, I've only seen the one. So I'm gonna have to say Gabe, just because I only have one trophy from Don. So.
All right.
And Gabe does pretty well with his trophies.
Hey, there's reasons why we do these things. you give him a bunch of crap because of the Ryder Cup. I like just stirring things up with Tour Director.
Yeah, we both have big spoons in this pot.
So
Yeah, I saw the Gabe brought out. I was staying with him down in La Quinta for the PGA West tournament, and he brought one of the. It was either I think it was Tubac, the Tubac trophy, and it looks pretty nice. I'm excited to go win that one.
is it
So am I.
is it a sculpture of Tupac? Does it look like Tupac?
It's
Tupac
not.
with a B, not a P.
I can't help it.
Ay, ay, ay.
All right, let's go. All right, Brandon. This is going to go downhill real fast.
We have too much fun here, bro. We have way too much fun here.
But again, thanks so much for joining us. I really do appreciate it. And like I said, hopefully I'll see you out at TPC Scottsdale. If not there, we'll see you when you come out here to Hilton Head.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for having me. Yeah, I'll definitely see you at TPC Scottsdale, and hopefully I'll see you out there in Nationals.
All right, bud. You take care of yourself.
Yeah, you guys as well. Thank you.
Let's take a break from the show to hear about Srixon's ZX Mark II drivers.
ZX Mark II drivers are for major players, major winners, major power. All new ZX Mark II drivers, only from Srixon.
Tim, it's great to see Arizona guys win big events. It hurts a little bit when they beat my guys in it, but if my guys can't win, I'd love for one of them to. And I've known Brandon for a while. I've known his dad a little bit longer. They're good people. Little inside joke there, but it was great to see him be able to pull it off, because Rosemary's a good player, and she'll sneak up and bite you. So to be able to hold her off and take that victory in one of the bigger tournaments is pretty cool.
Yeah, we didn't even mention it, but you know how I feel about kids winning, right? I mean, to me,
Right.
I think it's one of the best things ever, because we're so old. Because we're so old.
Jeez.
Because the majority of us are old, and if we want this to continue, we really have to inspire and get the younger generations playing golf. Right. And when they're out here on tour, and they're winning, and it's fun for them, that's something that's going to stay with him, his entire life, and continue to play and continue to compete, and do all those things that we talk about. It's so good for them to see that at a young age, and not wait till they're 25, 30, old and older is my point.
Right. No, it completely agree. I mean, who knows? His golfing buddies might see this and might get curious about joining, and they might start playing. I know the guys that I've had on my tour that are young, have become great high school golfers and got college scholarships to go play, and
Yeah.
it just, tournament environment helps build your skill set, and helps you become comfortable when you are playing, let's say, high school golf tournaments and things like that. And golf in general is just a good networking sport. And if you're a good golfer and you get a job at a big company, they may be calling you to go play golf during the week to get new clients in. So it always pays itself forward.
It really does. And you talk about kids going off to play in college. One of our first episodes, we had Chris and Alex Franklin on. I don't know if you remember that.
Well, you've done a lot, but I'm pretty sure I'll remember as you go through this.
They played on the Upstate South Carolina tour. Alex had, at that point, I mean, he had been playing for a little bit, not very long, but he ended up becoming a really, really good golfer. And I think at the time that we had him on, I think he was either in the B or the C flight. Ended up in the champ flight, and he just graduated high school a couple weeks ago, and took a college scholarship to play golf.
Nice.
And a lot of that, um, they kind of transitioned out of they still played on the tour some, but it really transitioned out of the tour because of, um, how college scholarships and stuff works. It's points, based on
Right.
junior tournaments, and he had to go and do that, which I think was in a way was really good for him. But also still playing in some of the golf week events is good for him as well. But he really developed his skills and parlayed that into a college to a golf scholarship. Um,
Which is
and
cool. I mean, that's
it's
something
great.
that
Yeah.
that we strive for.
Mhm.
Especially on our tour, is to get people better. And if they can't
Exactly.
get better, then what are we doing, basically?
Right. Right. And so let's take that to the opposite end of the spectrum here, right? I mentioned that Joe Jaspers just qualified for the U.S. Senior Open again.
Yep.
I mean, raise your hand if you're surprised. But
It was a matter of when. Why
right,
hasn't it happened yet?
and but it's such a great accomplishment, and I'm not gonna say that he qualified because he was a member of the Golfweek Amateur Tour, but I can tell you one thing: that's where he's keeping his skills sharp. That's where he's, keeping his competition skills sharp, and I don't know if you've ever actually watched him play. If you've ever actually watched him swing the club, it's something. It's beautiful to watch. It's
I have not, but I want to. I eventually want to, just because like HB Kim from
Mhm.
my tour, it seems so easy.
Yeah.
And it's not fast, lightning fast, and everyone tells you got to swing hard. It doesn't seem like he's swinging hard. It's crazy how it looks,
'cause
and it goes a mile.
you mean his hands aren't all crusted over and tensed up after a round of golf
No,
because he's squeezed the club so tight he can't
no,
move his fingers anymore? That's not how
no.
it's
And
supposed to be.
then I try and go do that, and it's chung top. And man, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
But any champ flight guy. Now that I'm in A flight, I play with most of the champ flight guys on my tour, and just the swing so smooth,
Yeah.
and a hole where B, C flight guys might make triple, these guys still come out with par, and it's amazing how not every hole's a green and reg, but they'll take their medicine, they'll get it as close as they can.
Yeah.
Phenomenal chip and a one putt, and they're out with a par. It's like, what the hell?
Exactly.
It's taking
Have
me
that
2 to get out of that rough, trying to hero a 3-wood out of 4-inch rough, and
exactly.
it's not going to work. And it's just crazy how they play. But I mean, I think throughout all 5 flights, we have great players that
We
can
do.
do, hold their own, and they're where they need to be. But also as golfers, I think we can take what we learn from other players, and some may work and some may not. But I think that's what's great about this game is
Right.
we had to figure out what works for us, and each swing is different. And at the end of the day, it's you against your mind,
Mhm.
and that's going to determine what you shoot.
Exactly. And that's also something, when people move up flights, that's a point that really needs to be made because let's just say like Brandon got moved from D flight to a C flight. And I don't know specifically what his handicap is now. Let's just say it's a 17.5, okay? 17.5, whatever. The way he gets to a 17.5 is could be very different than his dad, who let's just say is a 17.5. Like he said, he hits the ball farther than his father, but their handicap is the same, right? So focusing on the part of your game that works for you, and getting better at your part of the game where you struggle at is really important. But again, it comes down to understanding what your game is.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If
It does.
if you know that you're a really good chip and putter, I mean, if you know you're really good at 100 yards and in, okay, all you have to do is make sure that
You get to 100
when you're
yards.
100 yards and in, you're up and down and one. right?
Right.
What I mean, so and then your bogey at worst,
Right.
right? So I mean, it's that's the key. For a D or C flight better. If you're in champ flight, and you're driving to 100 yards, okay, then you're putting yourself in position for birdie par, as opposed to C or D flight player par bogey.
Right.
And that's you have to understand that, for who you are and what your game is, and how you hit the ball.
For sure. And I mean, these courses at the regionals are not easy courses either.
Right.
So you got to remember who you're going up against, and it's not the champ flight guys that are shooting 4 over, unless you're in champ flight. Then I'm sorry, but know where you're at and understand that triple may hurt you a lot, or it may be something you can brush off and get back on track.
Exactly. So, we got a couple more regionals this coming weekend. Louisiana North Regional at
Tamaka Trails.
Tamaka Trails, Tupaca Trails.
Don't miss that one. If you're in the area,
no, you got to go to that. I mean, you just have to go at some point. If you're not there this year, you got to get there soon. And then also we've got the Sunshine State Regional at Cabot Citrus Farms. First time we've been there, so I think because I think I'm going to drive out there to that one. Go out there Saturday, Sunday, and obviously it's not a tee time event, so we won't be live. But maybe I'll go out there and interview winners.
Nice. Wish you could make it out. Life
well, you've
happens.
got I don't know if how much you want to share, but you got a lot of things going on.
I do, and it's been tough, but I'll get through it. I really don't want to go into detail on it, but just trying to grind through that, just like 18 holes on a windy day here in El Paso. Just get through it, and see what happens, man.
Like we talked offline, it's not something that's just going to go away
Right.
Today or tomorrow, but baby step, doing the things that have to be done to get better, and things will take care of itself eventually. It's a long-term deal, and
It is.
and just leave it at that. And on top of that, I'm not going to tell anybody else's story either. But I think everybody knows about what Dennis and Jennifer are going through with Jennifer's parents. I will say this: that something else has come up that's that they're dealing with. It's very serious. So we really need to make sure that we're thinking about them. They're in our thoughts and prayers, and
For sure.
I joked that I'm trying to stay out of trouble because I don't want to call us. But it's the less stress that we can put on them right now, really the better.
Right.
So, I'm not going to talk about the people showing
Just put it this
anybody
way:
tattoos.
lean on your directors.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, they'll get the answer to you. It might not be right away, but definitely lean on them, because I think we have a great team of directors out there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, we're gonna get through this. But
We will.
at the end of the day, just like golf, it's something that you learn from, and then you got another 18 holes the next day.
That's it. That is it. As we move forward, remember, we've got our iron raffle. Please make sure you Venmo me, Tim NATC. $10 raffle, $10 a slot. Once we hit 100, we will wheel
Raffle and
names
ship
it
them
off.
out.
Yep,
Yep. That'll be exciting.
it's gonna be awesome. You gonna announce your
I
thing?
challenge all the other directors that listen. I'm about to have a contest with my area. So if any of y'all want to throw out a challenge, hit me up. Send me an email, and we'll see what we can do.
Awesome.
I challenge you, but you got your own. You don't have a tour anymore.
I have my own challenges. Oh my goodness gracious! Yeah. Speaking of challenges, so I'm looking forward to my granddaughter's coming down and spend the week with us. So she's gonna be, and so wish Jen luck. She's gonna have 2 kids in the house for a week.
Yep. It'll be all right. It'll be fun.
She'll get through it. I believe in her.
Okay, here you gotta take a picture of how she looks before she gets there, and then when she leaves, a picture of how exhausted she looks.
See? Well, the funny part's going to be, granddaughter goes back home on the Sunday of Cabot Farms. So, yeah. So,
Yep.
I can only do what I can do.
Good luck, sir. Good luck. I'll keep you in my prayers.
Thank you. And let's make sure we get, like I said, in the open. Let's make sure we get our May Player of the Month nominations in, and make sure that again. I think we had 12 for April,
around there, 11, 12.
So that's the standard now, guys. Let's get them in. Let's see what good things are going on all over the country, because we know good things are happening. Obviously, right?
Right.
Let's share it.
Yeah, let's have a good time with it, please.
Absolutely. And what do you got coming up? Anything this weekend?
I just had an event at in the mountains at a new course. Well, not a renovated course. They're trying to get some USGA events out there, so it'll be nice to see. Got a local event, and then I'm traveling to Arizona for back-to-back majors.
Okay.
So that'll be fun. I got to make up one major for when I was sick in March. So, shucks. Got to go out there.
You got to go all the way to
Sedona. And then the next one's at a Tubac Golf Resort. My home away from home. So can't wait for that. That's always a fun family trip. They'll both be family trips, but that's always a special one because there's nothing, there's no distractions out there.
Right.
It's just hang out, walk the dog around the resort, go to the whatever hole's close to your little bungalow and chip and putt and just have a good time.
That's awesome. And that's right after 4th of July weekend.
That's 4th of July. That's actually
weekend. Yeah.
So we'll be out there for 4th of July. Apparently they have a big fireworks display, so hopefully they do. If not, we'll drive to Tucson and just enjoy the time out there.
That'd be awesome. And then when are you going to Hawaii?
So we come back. Then I have a local tournament that Saturday, and then I leave 5 days after that.
Okay. So you got some stuff going on over the next month and a half.
Yeah, it's gonna be a busy month and a half. Before I know, it's gonna be August, and like I mentioned last year, as you start scrolling down the tournaments to get registrations and get everything, like I'm running out of space. I'm just getting pretty low down there. So
it is.
It's scary, but it's scary. It's sad, but I'm having a good time with it. And I know my guys are too.
That's all that matters, man. That's all that matters.
You know they're having a good time when they're inviting friends to come play.
Exactly.
So we've gotten a lot of new members this year, which is awesome.
Good. That's good, man. Well, you take care of yourself. All the best to the family.
Likewise.
Do what you gotta do, and I'll let Jen know that she's now down to 4'1".
as they get older. As the
Exactly.
age goes up, then.
See?
Dude, my oldest is about to surpass my wife in height, so
Oh, wow.
it's getting there.
She doing all right with that?
Nope. I am, because the jokes keep coming, but
Yeah, I understand.
you know me.
I do. That's good stuff. all you can do is laugh.
Right.
That's all you can
Right.
do.
That's all we can.
All right, buddy. Well, it's good seeing you. You take care of yourself, and we'll talk to you soon.
Likewise, brother. Be safe.
All right, that's a wrap for this week's episode. But Chris, after all this time, you would think we would remember this stuff.
We forgot to tell people how to register, didn't we?
Yep. Take it away.
Well, if you're not already part of the Golfweek Amateur Tour, what are you waiting for? Grab your clubs, join the fun, and see what competitive golf is all about. You can sign up today and start meeting some incredible folks who love the game as much as you do.
All you need to do is go to amateurgolftour.net, click the Join the Tour button, and pay your local tour's membership dues.
And hey, don't forget, if you're enjoying the podcast, you can catch us on all of the major podcast platforms. Be sure to download, share it with your golf buddies, and throw us a quick review if you're feeling the love. It helps us keep bringing you the good stuff and reaching even more golfers out there. Thanks for hanging with us, and until next time, keep swinging and having fun out there.
We'll see you next time. Take care.